what's been going on with me for a while is that I was trying to trick myself into allowing by saying, well, you know, like with the photography, I just went, well, it's not happening. I'm just going to give it up for now. But I don't really want to. I know I don't really want to.
Well, you can't. You can't give up that desire. It is too well entrenched, and you've already told the universe you want it. The universe has already created the situation and will give it to you anytime your resistance is gone.
So how do I get rid of it?
Get rid of the resistance? By every day letting the energy flow, the way the energy flows, be your dominant intent. That you've asked the perfect question and we've given you the perfect answer. How do I get rid of resistance? By letting the energy flowing be your dominant desire. Anything short of that, you'll just dabble at it. You'll just you will be the analytical, objective, comparative person that you've been trained to be. But once you say the only thing that really matters is how the energy is flowing now. Have you ever had a thought that made you sort of shudder? In other words, let's say you saw an animal slaughtered or hit on the highway, and you saw it. And then years later, it would roll across your mind every now and again, and you'd just try to shake it away. In other words, that thought just, that was such a thought of resistance that you just naturally felt an aversion to it. Well, eventually, that's the way you'll feel about any negative thought. If Esther will turn on a radio program and listen to the strong pushing against, and she's just doing that shuddering. In other words, she just can't stand it in that vibration. She'll put on every now and again, Jerry will find a television program that is something about the work they do. And Esther will just feel herself shuddering. She just can't get away from it fast enough. And Jerry will say, it's really funny, Esther. You could watch a movie of mass murderers, but you can't watch Oprah Winfrey talking about channeling. He thinks that's very strange, you see. And Esther will say, I'm not taking the mass murdering personally. But this channeling is very personal to me. And as I'm seeing people in the audience resistant to it, I can't stand that vibration, you see. And so as you get so, you gravitate toward the thoughts and experiences that let the energy flow, and you naturally avoid. Now we want to be very specific about this. By avoiding resistance, you vibrate with it. So we're not saying avoid that, we're saying embrace this. And it's a fine line. And as you all have been playing around with that fine line, most of you have been avoiding on your way to allowing, you see. And so that's what we've been talking about here today. Every time you stand and feel even the need to push against something, all those employees pushing against not being enough, pushing against being thought down on, pushing against not having enough money, pushing against, you see. Where if they're acknowledging, hey, I'm young and free. Hey, this is a happy place to be. Don't have extraordinary responsibility. I just come, do my thing. It's actually a very happy place. I have potential for a lot of money. In other words, in the restaurant field, it is a place where someone without a degree with lots of letters behind their name can provide them an opportunity for a lot of extra money. In other words, it's a place where there is some assuredness of dollars, but a lot of latitude for more. In other words, this is a very good environment. I am amazed that people resist something that is so much fun, that pays so well. Esther remembers watching her daughter Tracy. She was working in a restaurant and while she was going to college, and making very good money, much of it in tips. She was really happy in her work, and every day on the way to work she would imagine that the happiest customers of all would be assigned to her. And over about an 8-month period, only happy people came to her. It was as if somebody ornery came, they were always given to somebody else. And the happy, complimenting, well-tipping customers were the ones that always ended up at her table. But little by little, one of her friends quit and got a job at a bank, and another of her friends quit and got a job at a bank, and another of her friends quit. And Tracy began feeling that her work was not impressive enough or important enough. And so she got a job at a bank, and then the fun stopped. because she was having great fun interacting with lots of people. Her hours were more flexible. She felt more free. She's making a lot more money, but she traded all of that for what is supposed to be better. You see. You see what we're getting at?
Yeah.
You cannot, if you will, here is the measurement of success, truly. How much joy. So we would say, always opt for the things that feel more fun. Always opt for the things that are more satisfying, you see. In other words, people have this battle about whether they should choose this or that, and often it's about whether I should choose spirituality or money. And we say, you don't have to choose between them, choose both. There is nothing more spiritual than allowing abundance into your experience. They say, well, I should choose between prestige or joy. We say, how could there possibly be you can have it both. You can have all of the prestige in the world and joy. In other words, this is not an either-or thing. You can have it all. Just tell the universe you want it. I want to be thought well of, and I want to make lots of money, and I want to have lots of fun. And in most cases, you begin having it now, right where you stand, as soon as you tell the universe that you want it.